to others, none other than this phenomenal woman who roars with passion for helping families, not only her own, but all those in her community. And now she's building an international business, doing the same for all those in the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada. I give to you now, without further ado, we're talking about the one known to this village as the Giot Leo, Mrs. 𝗱𝗶𝗸𝗀. Come on in. The ball is yours.
All right, y'all. It is Millionaire Money Makers Monday. Am I right?
Is it?
So you know what we do here, as usual, we educate, motivate, inspire, uplift, and we talk about some money-making activities. But there's some things we need to take care of first. And if there's anybody knocking at the door or ringing that bell, let them in. You can light this call up, light it up, light it up. Come on off of mute so y'all can help out a sister.
Everybody in.
All right, let's help out a sister here. All right, team, how y'all feel?
Fired up.
Fired up. And what's up?
My income.
What do we do?
Giveaways and applications.
And who gets a green sheet?
Everybody gets a green sheet.
Get your green sheets. Everybody gets a green sheet. Get your green sheets. Everybody gets a green sheet. Get your green sheets. Everybody gets a green sheet. Get your green sheets. Everybody gets a green sheet.
All right. How many of y'all be bouncing in that chair and getting a little workout going, like your feet might be going up? Hey.
Leo got moves.
Get that little workout going on. All right. So, hold on. Let me get off this camera here. Let me see everybody. All right. So first of all, before we get started, I want to personally shout out one of my Leo sisters for taking over for Coach Erik last Thursday. She did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. She killed it.
She did. Yes, she did.
So I want to say congratulations. I want to say I'd like to be you when I grow up, but I think I'm older. You definitely leading by example and showing us the way, and I appreciate you, sis.
Like, I appreciate you. You're perfect just like you are.
I appreciate that. Now, another thing I want to talk about. Who was on or at the Super Saturday?
Me.
So you all can raise your hands and tell us what you think about Super Saturday. Because I thought it was great. But I'm just going to leave my comments for a second.
Yes.
Everybody want to talk about it? Do I need to call on y'all? Come on now. All right. Monique Pinckney, MBA, our insurance and tax pro. Let's go. What did you think?
Of course, I thought it was awesome. We need to get some of these other folks on here talking about what they thought.
That's true. But I'm gonna get to them, but go ahead.
But the thing I loved about it was that you have somebody come fly in all the way from Canada to teach us, right? And we were able, those of us who couldn't get there were able to tune in online, and it felt like we were right there. And everything was awesome. Every speaker was awesome. But what I really, really loved was at the end when Leah Lynch got up and she broke that thing down about the application and how you go step by step with helping people get covered. And it's not just filling the application out. How you find out how much they can afford, how you get them to commit. I mean, she broke it down from every single angle, from sitting down with them to teaching them the options that they have, to now us going back and finding out how can we meet the need within that budget. And one of the things she talked about that I talk about a lot too is please, please, please do not take your own limitations or what you've seen or what you think and portray that onto your customer. Let them get the coverage that they need based on the facts, if you will. And I actually had a chance to go to, they had a gala this weekend for the cohort that Miss V and I did. We taught 6 months of life insurance and money making, budgeting to the city of East Point here. They did a gala to do a fundraiser for that this weekend, and Mark and I went instead of Miss V. She wasn't able to go, but they gave me an opportunity to stand up at the end and talk about why we did this for free for 6 months to be a part of this program. And I shared with them that, at the end, right at the end, I got a chance to say, in this room of however many hundreds of people, do you know that 46% of the population do not have life insurance? And I said, so that means that half of the people in this room don't have it. And I told them, I said, that's what we do. We educate people. And if you don't have life insurance, talk to me. So I'm asking you, do you have life insurance? And some people now it's like, I got it. But people came up to me afterwards. And so I'm saying this to say, in that room, it was all kinds of people. They were dressed up, they looked good, but guess what? Some of them didn't have life insurance. And so that's what she was saying, don't take for granted the person you're sitting around that's driving a nice car and live in a big house has life insurance. So it was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. Don't assume. Do not assume that everybody has it, because the ones that, like you said, driving the big cars, they rather put their money into all of that instead of putting it into them.
Exactly.
And don't put your limitations on someone else. That's huge. That's huge. You can't think about, well, I couldn't afford that, but absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
I love it. Anybody else? So Parditra said she was there. Okay. All right, Miss Carol. Go ahead, Monique, you want to pass the ball?
I get to pass the ball to this wonderful lady out in the small town of Commerce, Texas. But she knows plenty of people and she loves people, and she has been working her social media. She's been working her phone from the house, and this lady is going to come into this business and tear it up. Miss Carol Sampson, what you got for us today?
To second what you said about everything was really good. I learned a lot Saturday. And one thing that did stick out in my mind was when Lady Leah said, when you're talking to the people, when you do that first conversation and they try to, back up a little bit, just remind them, well, you remember what you told me when we first spoke. And then it says, tell them, well, if they choose to do nothing, then how would that play out for you and your family? Think about your family. If you suddenly pass away, would your family be have money ready to use for the next 7 days? Or have you set aside a couple of dollars to help your family in the time of need. And I really love that because it's very important. On the sad note, my husband lost 3 friends that he grew up with, childhood friends. And it's sad. Some of them in their 70s, 60s, and 40s. They passed away last week. And guess what? They didn't have life insurance. So what are they doing? I asked my husband, what are they doing? Oh, they all going to do a GoFundMe. So that motivates me to let me know I'm going to have to, get out there and just talk and let them know what's going on because it is important.
Absolutely.
And I'm hurry up, Troy, before you ring that bell.
You know, you have
good when you're talking good.
I stepped outside of my comfort zone, because like before I joined 𝗖cie, I have a cooking channel, where I do shorts on YouTube, right? Because I love to cook. That's my hobby. And so I was like, wait a minute. I've been cooking and I'm over 1,000 views already on my cooking. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, well, maybe today I just might need to, put a little extra on there. So I typed in and scoot over my title and I said, the question of today is, do you have life insurance? And I was just playing. And last night, a lady messaged me and she said, I appreciate you asking that, but I do have it. And that is important. So please keep asking people that on this channel. So I was shocked. So like you all say, if you step out of your comfort zone, you can be creative and find ways to get the message out to educate the people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carol. That's a message.
Awesome. Nugget.
Before you pass the ball, so on your cooking channel, are you talking and cooking?
What I do, my husband don't really like for me to post my my face, and stuff like that. Because, he said crazy people out there, So what I do is I just post a photo of myself.
Okay.
And I have that on there. And then I put it on record and I turn it to whatever I'm preparing and cooking and I record it. And then after I do that, I upload it.
Okay, so you're just showing yourself cooking. You're not actually talking while you're doing it. You're just showing yourself cooking.
I'm just cooking. But yesterday when I was cooking, they allow you to type, you can put titles in like with questions or whatever. So I just said, well, I haven't done a title in a while because I used to sell clothes. So I used to put titles up about the clothes I sold. So I said, well, I'm going to try this with the insurance thing. And I typed it in. And like I said, now I have like 60 subscribers now. So it's an attention getter.
Absolutely. Because what I was thinking, if you were one of the individuals that show themselves cooking it, they're just having conversations, I was a prime example. You ever watch one of those YouTube videos where they're decorating the cake? And they start to talk about the trauma that they go through.
Oh, yeah.
These people that don't want their cakes, but they should still decorate it, So I was just thinking about that while you were talking that, you could be talking and just talk about what you were just saying about 3 of your husband's friends passed. Right, but you're still, working that food and stuff.
Try that on my next video when I'm cooking. But I'm gonna tell you about me. I cook enough the last 3 days, so I'm not cooking today.
Shoot, I'm coming over your house because I cooked last night, and I gotta go back to the store.
Party at Carol's.
Come on.
All right. Okay, Miss Carol, go ahead and pass the ball.
Okay. I see this wonderful lady, Tiffany Tyler, the insurance. I can't see the rest of it, but Miss Tiffany Tyler. Oh, Agent. I thought she had a nickname. Okay.
And team, Super Saturday was great. That was my first time attending, and I had a wonderful time. But I had to get off because I had to attend the funeral, and my ex-coworker daughter died in her sleep about a week or so ago. And my thought is, what am I going to do? Because they put a GoFundMe up. My classmate's son got shot over 14 times in Petersburg, Virginia. Same week. He was 14 years old. And they have not buried him yet, but they have a GoFundMe up. And I said, what am I going to do? I went to the funeral, and I'm glad I did go to the funeral, and I went to the repast. And one of my bike sisters, which I'm in a bike club, you all may not know, she said, Tip, do you got any business cards with you? I said, girl, you know I am fully equipped like a 9mm. She said, give me your business cards because majority of these young children do not have life insurance and they need it. And I need it too. I said, oh my God. And Aurelio really had just installed in my head that we need to be in these places and we need to be speaking up. And I did not even go in there in the intentions to speak about, because people know who I am. I set my own tone when I walk in a room. And I did not go in there to be life insurance ready. But as Coach say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
That's right.
And I did not fund that GoFundMe, but I did pull the mother to the side and slipped her something because she is my friend. And I also let her know we will be having a conversation because it's very important. Now, my classmate, on the other hand, I don't feel like I should give her anything because she follows me a lot. But my heart says help. So I know the help is coming from God. And that's what I would do. And I discussed this with my fiance. And the funny thing about it is she used to go with my fiance, but that's here nor there. It's about the child. So nevertheless, be in the room, be ready, pass out your cards, let people know who you are. And this Thursday, I have to go to my coalition because they asked me to come speak on life insurance. And I am so thankful that I am in a place to do so. But it just breaks my heart to see these GoFundMes up and these folks know what you do, how you do it, and how you get down with it. And what they don't understand is they can apply for the life insurance and not have a dime and wait 28 days out to be ready to pay for this. They don't understand that. They don't know this stuff. And I preach it every single time I talk to somebody. And I'm not GoFunding a GoFundMe, but I will give the funeral home money because I feel like people be scamming on these GoFundMes and there's no reason for them. So I just want to say my money-making activities this week is putting more literature out for life insurance, going to this coalition, and hopefully with a prayer that I'll be able to educate them enough to know, even if you got life insurance, you're insured in proper way, you don't have enough life insurance, or you don't know the education or the verbal literature for life insurance. And that's what I'm going to do. So those are my making activities.
Thank you, Tiffany. Yes, stay ready.
Yes.
You know what? And I had stopped carrying my business cards because I had the bling on my phone. But what's happening is people will they will scan my phone and then not put the information in, or they say I'll do it as soon as I leave out. So it's one of those moments where you need your business cards, where especially if you ask somebody you have life insurance and they don't really have time to talk, have something else to give them besides your phone because they keep moving. So you just reminded me of that I had to go back and print up some more of my cards. Okay, Tiff, can you pass the ball?
Yes, I am going to pass this ball. I call him because he knows how to get down to me and he cuts no grease, no nothing. Oh, him and his wife are such a duo team. I follow them so much. Dr. Mark, the financial prophet, please come on off and share with us.
Thank you, Miss Tiffany Tyler, our insurance agent, making it happen in the Carolinas. And you're awesome. I know you're knocking it out the park, and just great to hear what you're doing, because it causes, it's a lot. We have to have compassion and passion in this business, and we can hear your compassion with your friends and your community, and that's what's going to have lasting relationships in what you're doing, Miss Tiffany Tyler. And I just want to say Saturday was amazing. What a super Saturday it was with USAX. Thank you all. Man, it's incredible to see what God is doing through you all. and we being a part of this. And what stood out to me was relationship selling. And when you are relationship selling, being a consultant, you take your time, you understand the client, because you offering them more than just life insurance. And you know, Sean said it, you offering more than just life insurance, you offering them value. That's what's going to stand out amongst you and any other ABC or alphabet company out here is you know, and your client is looking to you because they trust you. And that's what I heard Saturday. What's going to separate us from other people in other industries or other alphabet companies? And I know when I used to work office supplies, and I used to work, you know, with a company, and we were competing against Staples, we were competing against Office Depot. So what separated us? The company shifted into a consultative mode as a selling person. We shifted as knowing everything about that client. We had their office supplies, we had their business supplies, we had their nuts and bolts, we had their screws, we had everything. We could go out and say, what's the core part of your business, Mr. Customer? They were maybe an accounting firm. They didn't have time to look at widgets. I'm the man to come in and show you how to take all you need to do to order your pens and paper, your toilet paper, your furniture. You see where I'm going with this? You create value. So when you are valuable to your client, they're not going to go anywhere else, but they're going to give you referrals. And I just want to say lastly, with my wife, we went to that gala Friday night. As soon as we sat down at the table, it was only, and Miss V, I give you a shout out because Miss V, she couldn't make it there. Y'all keep Miss V covered up because she's still going through. So, you know, she couldn't make it that Friday night. We went and, you know, it was amazing. As we sat at the table, guess what? They asked, what do you do? It was only a couple of us. And I'm going to tell you what, people are looking for us because they have things that they want to do with their resources. And when we share what we do, there's one person that asked about a certain product. We said, we know what you talk about. We got something better for you. So we already created a relationship with the people sitting at the table. And then we saw other people we've been reaching out to and they couldn't get away. So guess what? We followed up to their table. So, you know, it's an amazing platform. And what I realized that, man, we are valuable and people are looking for us. Just want to share that this morning. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Mark, the financial prophet. Okay, Troy, you're going to be the last one, and then I'm going to finish up with my thoughts. So, okay. Dr. Mark, go ahead and pass the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to pass this ball to, man, none other than our index voice of inspiration, Mr. Troy Gandy. You knocked it out the park on Saturday.
Sure did. Even though he couldn't remember Leah's last name.
I'm sorry. Man,
it was more of not having the little sequence in how I say it. I knew her last name, but I didn't have it just right. So I said, when I left there, I said, I know I got to say now let's get it right. I got to, because I don't want to get punched in the nose no more. You got to say, Leah, the Jedi live. And I couldn't figure out how in the world to put that last name on there. Pull it out for nothing. I was like, oh Lord, brain freeze. Getting old, y'all, getting old. Oh man. But I guess my biggest takeaway from Saturday was everything was all about relationship building. And then because Leah started off. I mean, she was like, just hit it with find out what their need is. You know, that first leg of that three-legged stool sets the precedence for everything, sets the tone for it all. Find out what their need is. And then when Sean was up there, Sean came with it and he gave us the acronym of HELP. And his very first thing was lead with your heart. Lead with your heart. And I was like, wow, that's powerful. And then with really and Coach Erik, you know, throwing in there, man, if you ain't following them numbers, you can do a whole lot of stuff. But if you ain't tracking your numbers, it's hard to move forward, you know, without knowing where you are. So that was powerful. And not to mention, you know, say the least about Dr. Mary and everything and just how she beautifully illustrated how we need to go through, you know, the whole process. Man, it was phenomenal. It was great to be in the place. It was great to see all the folks that were able to make it there in person. Nothing ever beats that. I mean, we do say word of mouth is the best form of you know, advertisement. But I don't know how it is for everybody else, but in person always does seem to work out just a little bit better. And then to top it all off, when I left there, we always talk about that 3-foot rule. As soon as I turned the corner, pulled away from there, I rode past a UPS truck and I saw him jump back in there. And I rode past him. I said, nah. I said, I ain't gonna mess with him. He working today. Something told me turn around and go back. I went back and put myself in the 3 feet. And when I got there, I was like, hey, he was back in the truck sorting, and he came back out to the front and he was like, I said, man, I said, how you doing? I said, everything good? I said, I said, I got something I think that you might want to help you with your retirement and stuff. I said, how close are you to it? He said, I don't know, but I ain't trying to stay here for another 10, 15, 10, 20 years. He said, I'm looking for something else. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, I got just what you need. And he was like, yeah, I need that. I'm looking for it. So gave me the card. He took my phone, put his number in it. So I'll be following up with Mr. Jose tomorrow, today and whatnot, and setting up that appointment and getting it going.
All right. Thank you, Troy. I tell y'all had some great nuggets, and a lot of things you said I was actually having kind of jotted down. But that new the new sheet that we're using as part as the green sheet is phenomenal. And I have to say that listening to Sean talk, I said, man, this man is really resonating with me. He talked about and I'm going to say, how can I put this? Talk to the people that I'm going to say in my way that you vibe with. You don't always have to try to look for the person that's the millionaire or like these super educated folks is going to try to overtalk you. Talk to your peers. Yeah. That you know that you can relate to. That resonated with me. And yes, the help. Heart. What was it? Heart. What else was it, Troy? Education. Listen.
Yeah. And then the P. I didn't catch the P because I was over there with my 3x5 card. Couldn't get no more on it.
The P was, what was the P, Coach?
Process.
Thank you, y'all.
Process.
Oh wait, process.
Process. Yeah,
process. Dr. Mary's tip.
And the last, well, there was a couple other things, but the last thing he set out, that 72 rule. 72% rule.
Oh yeah.
If you're not talking to people within the 72 hours, then that's going to pretty dictate what you'll be doing in the future. You won't be talking to people. So I had gone to Olive Garden. And by the way, Coach, you talked about how women don't know what they want to eat. It's completely opposite in this household. I'm always asking. And he'll go, I don't know what you want to do, babe. So that's what happened. I thought about you. And,
he's been trained to figure out, let you figure out what you want.
Okay, whatever you say. It's complete opposite here, sir. So he said Olive Garden. I'm like, fine, Olive Garden will be. And I'm not a big fan of Olive Garden, but I said, I'll go. And it took a minute for me to get there. I couldn't register on online to order my food. So I went there. I said, I'll go sit at the bar. Always a great place to sit at the bar. You meet somebody. So I was talking to this lady, and no, I didn't automatically come out and say, do you have life insurance? I'm one of those people that ease into the conversation. And we were talking to one of the waitresses, and they were having a conversation. I didn't exactly want to interrupt, but I kept going in. So long story short, I did ask her, did she have life insurance? She said, were you going to talk to the waitress about that? And I said, I was, because she works at Chick-fil-A, and then she goes to Olive Garden, and she wants to go to school for music. And I said, well, I was listening to the conversation that you were having when I just didn't want to interrupt. She said, you should have said something to her. Nugget, I should have said something. Needless to say, I did get this young lady's information, and I will be contacting her about what she can do. She's actually an accountant. So we did talk. And lastly, I have a friend, I saw her on Instagram talking about how She was one of those people that was forced to retire. And one of those individuals has not gotten her money. So she's struggling a little bit. Now, I hadn't talked to her in a minute because we had a little falling out. But I'm one of those people, again, that lead with my heart. I don't stay mad at anybody. It's not who I am. It messes with my energy. And I always said, even though we're not in communication with each other, I still got your back if you need me. But we can't hang like that anymore. So I saw that on Instagram where she was had an interview with one of the TV stations here. And I called her up. And, I told her, I said, I'm sorry that you're going through this, but what's your 401k looking like? And she said, yeah, I still have that. And I said, well, I know if you have to end up hitting it, you do, because she's not 60 yet. She knows she's going to get taxed on. And I said, you might, if you have to take a little bit out of it, take a little bit out, but let's roll the rest over. I asked her, like, how much. She didn't mind me asking how much does she have in there. She said about 200 grand. I said, oh girl, yeah, let's fix that. So I know that we're going to get together. I said, let's meet at Panera. I know you're struggling a little bit and I will personally pay for your lunch, but let me show you what the numbers are going to look like. So she's willing to sit and listen. So that's, to me, a nugget.
Ding, ding, ding.
Don't. Whatever else is going on in your life, you can't stay mad. People out here need you. Just let it go and help. And on that note, I know we're a little bit over time today. I am going to pass the ball back to the Index Voice of Inspiration.